One planet, 7.3 billion people, only one you. Life offers us many opportunities and learning experiences. Are you ready to explore and discover this beautiful planet, the life and energy all around us, the spiritual world, and what is unseen, along with your own personal soul adventure? Marc Lainhart, the Intuitive Prospector, is the spiritual connection you have been prospecting for. Internationally known as a tested and professional clairvoyant medium and spiritual advisor, Marc's work as a metaphysical teacher, medical instructor, radio show host, inspirational writer, and hiking guide are here to help you on a journey of self-discovery, healing, inspiration, education, and a whole lot of spiritual awesomeness. Dare to dream, dare to explore, dare to live. For more information on Marc's spiritual practice in Seattle, Washington, please visit marclainhart.com or internet search The Intuitive Prospector.
stars. This is Marc Lainhart, the Intuitive Prospector, here for another Metaphysical Mocha Mondays, your inspirational encouragement show for the week ahead. I am your host, Marc Lainhart, the Intuitive Prospector, and as you can tell, different backdrop today. I don't have my normal backdrop that I have behind me before. It's usually forest or nature or a connection to nature. Today it's all about the Force. So you can see I've got some of my Star Wars from collection from History Past, original Han Solo, some of the original posters with some of the lightsabers. That was actually just given to me as a gift yesterday. A pumpkin with Darth Vader. Got a little Yoda right here, a little BB-8 behind me, and a little Chewbacca to help celebrate May the 4th. So May the 4th be with you, as we like to say. And today I also got, as a surprise, I got a collection of Star Wars tumblers with my very own decanter. Let's see here. I gotta show you guys this because this is pretty cool. My Stormtrooper whiskey glass bottle set. So who doesn't like a nice glass of whiskey late at night? But check this little Stormtrooper out. So kind of cool. So, in order to ensure our society and continuing stability, the Republic will be reorganized in the first galactic empire for a safe and secure society. So that's my gift on May the 4th. So, I don't think I've ever done a show on May the 4th. So this is my first show, I think, of doing Metaphysical Mocha Mondays that I've been doing for almost 2 years now. And it's a lot of fun. And what would be more fitting than actually having a lightsaber? Course, on cue, it dies. Isn't that funny? Well, we'll just go with a cup of coffee. So this was I'm gonna have to change the batteries or charge it up, I guess. So that's awesome. It died on cue. So we'll just go with the coffee for this morning. I'm going to give you your totem animal spirit for the week, going to give you your crystal for the week, going to give you your inspirational message for the week, and your numerology for the week. And today we're going to be talking about T.E.A.M and what T.E.A.M means for me. And I'm just, lately, I was thinking about this during meditations, and there just seems to be a lot of divide. And it just seems to me that there is just a lot of division. Whether it's, wear a mask or don't wear a mask. Go in, don't go out. It just seems that there's just a lot of division right now within society. And so I thought I'd come on this morning and just talk about teamwork. We do this together, and teamwork has been something with me for my entire life through being raised with sports, being part of a team. And for me, team is all about together, everyone achieves more. If you break the word team down, together, everyone achieves more. And this morning it just felt kind of heavy on my heart because I see a lot of people that are just really just not being kind, not being caring, not be compassionate. I put a post out, and I usually am going to expect a negative. When you go out on social media publicly, just be prepared to get attacked. It's just part of where we're at in society, unfortunately. But I put a post out today talking about, just from a medical standpoint. I've got 20 plus years of healthcare under my experience in my soul adventures. Being a certified healthcare provider, teaching CPR. Spent many years in the Coast Guard, many years in the fire service, and have done real CPR. I've actually saved a life, saved lives, but also lost lives. And, so I've been following the data. I've been following the history. And, this morning I just was reminding people, because I care. I do this because I care, guys. I'm not trying to politically get into anybody's political, ideologies or religious rants. But I posted that, reopening the country right now is like stopping your antibiotics early because you're feeling better. And from medicine, they always tell you to take your antibiotics, during and after your treatment, even if it's days after you're feeling better, because that helps fight infection. And so I posted that on my page about reopening the country early is like stopping your antibiotic early because you're starting to feel better when you should be staying at home. The data shows us, the science shows us, and the history shows us that this pandemic is not going away anytime soon, and it's very, very contagious. And the only way it spreads is by the transference through people. And you've got states at odds with their governors, and mayors at odds with their governors, and governors at odds with their president, and people at odds with their governors. And it's just like, wow, guys, we need to tailor some of this stuff back because it's getting a little real for me. I saw this coming in some of my psychic predictions, but I also do this show because I want to bring inspiration and encouragement and healing to my environment. And somebody posted right away, I 100% disagree with you. It should be based on counties only. And I'm thinking, at what point do we choose life or livelihood over life? It's just, even if you're feeling good, you don't know if you are a carrier until we have accurate testing and adequate testing. We just don't know. And so now we've got this pandemic that's in the United States that, could have been prevented. We always teach in healthcare, prevention, planning. That is past. We're not there anymore. The pandemic is here. And, I guess with everything in life, you're always going to have the good and the bad. You're going to have the Sith and the Jedi. You're going to have the light and the dark. I always choose to move into the light. I always choose to, find the good in people. I always choose to try to inspire, encourage people. And because of doing that, I still get attacked. And that just, to me, is very eye-opening and amazing of where we're at in our world. Somebody will probably attack me today for just like in Star Wars, But you know what? The Force is with you. May the 4th be with you. And tomorrow we call that the Revenge of the 5th because it's Cinco de Mayo, and that's Star Wars nerd, I know. But I just want to toast you today. I just want to talk about teamwork. I want to talk about coming together. I did talk about the great coming together in 2020. I didn't know it would look this severe as pandemic, as global. But this is a time that we need to be in a place of team. We need to come together as a team. Like I said, team has always been with me, whether it was in sports, whether it was in the Coast Guard, whether it was in the fire service, whether it was in college, whether it's even just in my career working in healthcare for the federal government. It's all about working in team, and when people don't work in teams, and we've all seen that. We've all seen people that are independent and don't want to follow any kind of team philosophy. But to me, I have always broken down the team format as together, everyone achieves more. So if you want to achieve more, get on the same page of respecting people. You can have different opinions, and even if I always tell people, even if I'm not friends with you, doesn't mean I'm your enemy. You just don't get to sit at my table. That's all that really means. But people, especially on social media, if you're not friends with somebody or you get befriended, then you're my enemy. And it doesn't have to be like that, you guys. It's about, I go back to what Michael Jordan had talked about, and I'm trying to remember his quote here right off the top of my head. He talked about how the talent wins the games, but it's the teamwork and the intelligence that wins the championships. And I even remember my high school coach and playing varsity basketball saying, offense wins the games, but defense, or offense sells the tickets, defense wins the games. And so there's that counterbalance. You got to have both the good and the bad. You got to have the dark with the light to have balance, but also have a respect for people. And it's just in this day and age, we just seem to be so divided that I felt like it was important today to talk about teamwork, coming together. Going to give you some quotes from Star Wars because it is Star Wars Day, my favorite day, and I got a present this morning as I'm drinking my Star Wars Stormtrooper tumbler glass with orange juice. This is not whiskey. It's actually supposed to be a whiskey glass. But I thought Monday morning might be a little bit too early for a nice glass of whiskey. So that's orange juice. But I do have my coffee. So grab your coffee, grab your tea, grab your protein shake. Let's move into the magic of the moment and let's talk about teamwork. I'm going to give you some inspirational quotes from Star Wars because it is Star Wars Day and may the 4th be with you. Join me at 8:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time right after Metaphysical Mocha Mondays where we move into the Healing Cafe. I know some of you are putting comments in right now. I don't see those comments on Metaphysical Mocha Mondays. I turn the comments off because this is just a 30-minute inspirational show for encouragement, guidance, hope, healing, motivation for the week ahead. And God, do we all need it, don't we? Especially myself with everything that seems to be going on in the world. But this show is here every Monday morning, or most Monday mornings if I'm not traveling, and I'm not traveling as of late, to just connect with you and just to bring this ripple and this energy into our awareness and into our reality. So one of the first things is from Star Wars that I kind of a backstory for those of you that are new to the show. Welcome. For those of you that have been following my work for some time, thank you for joining me this morning. And of course, my team behind the scenes that helps me run this show. I've got a great team behind the scenes. I thank you guys, and may the force be with you. And for the backstory, Star Wars became a big part of my life growing up. I was, let's see, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77. I was 5 years old. I was 5 years old when Star Wars came out in 1977, May 25th, 1977. And I had never seen, as a 5-year-old, movies. Movies were just cool anyway. But I went to the opening of Star Wars. That's the original poster right behind me with one of the, that's Obi-Wan Kenobi's lightsabers that's now posted underneath it. That was one of my projects. One of my quarantine projects was actually mounting the lightsabers. And it's cool because at night they light up. I've got, the one that I was going to use was green. And the other one was purple and blue. Yeah, it's completely dead. But my quarantine project was to build racks that held those so I could light those up. And of course, I actually built this lightsaber right here at Star Wars Land. But for years, I grew up with the culture of Star Wars, the Force, the light, the dark, energy, meditation, the Jedi. Even a form of spiritualism that becomes a part of religion. And it's obviously resonated with people around the world for over 40 some years now, making billions and billions of dollars, because there's something that resonates with that. We even have a day, May the 4th, be with you. And so for me, I always was fascinated with the concept of Star Wars. I didn't really know that later in life, after great traumas and tragedies, or what I call TNT, that blows your shit up literally, triggers a transformation. I call it TNT triggers the transformation. And my own transformation, my own near-death experience twice, losing my brother to murder within the same week, my older brother to brain cancer, my father-in-law to multiple sclerosis, my real father to throat cancer, friends to suicide, animals that I've had to put in the spirit world, and so on and so forth. And it really changed my way of thinking. It changed my belief system. It changed even some of my relationships that I have to this day. And it was interesting because that transformation is when you go through a transformation or awakening or an awareness of your own self-awareness, you really start to kind of go deeper. And then I really started to look at the philosophy of Star Wars, and I saw that there was a lot of teamwork. And one of the quotes that really started to really open up and has been with me my entire life is, train yourself to let go of everything you fear to lose. And when you let go of that fear, which is false evidence appearing real, and you start to train yourself in a new way of thinking, a new way of having mindfulness, a new way of doing meditations. Maybe you're not a meditator. I wasn't always somebody that meditated, but now I meditate every single day. And that helps me to connect to what is seen, but also what is unseen and what is coming for us. And I have to say, Star Wars has been a big influence in my life. It's a big influence in my work, my writings, my shows, obviously. And, it's all about teamwork and coming together as a team. Again, the acronym I've always used is together, everyone achieves more on a team. And you can be a team for the Jedi, you can be a team for the Sith. I'm not telling you what team to be on. I'm just saying when you do something together, you achieve more. And it seems in this day and age that we just have a lot of lack of teamwork. We have a lot of social divide. We have a lot of bullying, behind the keyboard through social media. So, like I said today, I posted something just because I care about people, and I'm showing you that they're, behind the science, the data, and the history of great pandemics, we know the second wave has killed more people than the original outbreak, and yet you've got states that are opening, you got people at odds about, taking my civil liberties away, and I'm thinking, gosh, this is how people must feel in the history. People, women for their right to choose in their bodies, the gay community, we have a lot, we're allies of the gay community. And I can just imagine what they've gone through. People of color, what they've gone through about, and you're talking about having to stay home in civil liberties because you can't go out, depending on what state you live in. And so for me, it's just like, wow, let's move past that. Let's come together as a team because we can achieve more. But it does feel like there's a zero-sum game at hand. And in a zero-sum game, if you're not familiar with that term, we realize nobody wins. And I don't want that for the United States. I don't want that for our planet. I don't want that for people, people I know and love. And, unfortunately, it takes great chaos and it takes great awareness to change, to transform the stuff that you don't want. And so today's show is all about team, and may the force be with you, the fourth. And also, one of the quotes that really comes to my mind is about always pass on what you have learned, or mind what you have learned. And a lot of what I do now is based on my mentorship with some great teachers from my history past, some of my workshops that I've gone through, going to the college in England to study what is mediumship, what is metaphysics, what is psychic energy. And again, I didn't know that I'd be doing this work later in life, especially doing shows, a radio show, this show, doing readings. I've got a reading this afternoon with a gentleman. And I didn't always embrace that and support that, but now I love what I do, but I just don't like how I get attacked. I don't like how people are so cruel and mean, and there's really no reason for that. Even the person that commented, they never commented any of my inspirational posts, but as soon as I say to stay home based on science, data, and history, they have to disagree. It's kind of like that old concept: if you're lost in the woods and you want to be found, just argue, just yell out something political, and somebody will find you to argue with you. And for me, it's been a learning process to do this social media show, to connect with people in this format. But I find that in the end, there are more people with morals and values and ethics than there are people that are not. It's kind of like, I'm even just seeing, I respect politics. I'm not a political guy. I follow the Constitution because that's the oath I took as a Coastie to defend the Constitution of the United States against enemies, foreign and domestic. And I just see that there's a lot of strife right now. There's nothing in the Constitution that talks about political parties, but yet you've got these political parties, these factions that are tearing each other down to try to win a zero-sum game. And that's concerning because there's a lot of us that just want to live our lives. There's a lot of us that just want peace and want to just raise our families. And a lot of us are getting pulled into this political junk, this misinformation, and it's on both sides. I see it on both sides. It's just at this point though, for what I've seen with my own eyes, what I've heard with my own ears, and what I've been informed of myself, is I feel like the morals have gone down, and really I've even lost friendships and relationships with family members because morally I don't agree with a lot of stuff that's going on in the world. Not that I'm some high and mighty guy that's without sin. I am. I have my own vices and I have had my own mistakes, and but I still try to follow a moral code of ethics, kind of like the Jedi, right? I do try to let go of any kind of hate or revenge. There's some quotes here that I'll read to you in just a sec, and they can resonate with you or not resonate with you. But what I'm seeing is the morals of people. When somebody lies, they're like, oh, that's just who he is, or that's who she is. They push it away, and I'm like, no, that's a lie. That's a bad thing. That's not how we should be doing things in life. Would you teach your kids that? Would you let your daughter go out with somebody like that? And at some point, what I see with people supporting certain causes, the morals of it, it's like in our mind that this word politics is some big fancy superpower word, when really for me politics is morals in action. And if you support a certain type of moral action, you're supporting that behavior. It's like equivalent to somebody had told me from World War II, after World War II was over, if you walked into a restaurant and there was a table of 10 people sitting down just enjoying a nice meal and conversation, and a full Nazi walked in to this restaurant, and the table invites that Nazi to sit down, a Nazi from World War II, Hitler's Nazi, SS, killed millions and millions of people, and that table invites that Nazi to sit down with them, you now have a table of Nazis. And I'm seeing groupthink, I'm seeing gaslighting, I'm seeing Emperor's New Clothes, I'm seeing division, I'm seeing just straight up lies and misinformation. And at some point, where do people choose to follow a moral, ethical code versus the lies that are in front of them? And if we don't change our way of thinking, if we don't have balance, then one will lead to another, just like in the movies. The United States could be looking at becoming a failed state. You could have the United States start to divorce itself. It is United States, but there's 50 different states with 50 different ways. I'm hoping that's not the case. I hope I'm wrong with that prediction, but it's just, I've been seeing this coming for a long time, and this pandemic's only just driving more division. So I hope that, through this show, that you'll find in your heart to be kind, caring, and compassionate. Again, just because you disagree with somebody doesn't mean they have to become your enemy. It doesn't mean you have to be mean behind the keyboard and, try to be right and they're wrong. Right and wrong, that's, I guess, where society's at. And I'm hoping that this pandemic will get people to wake up and that we'll start to transform into something better than ourselves. Because that's what teamwork is, guys. Together, everyone achieves more. So here's some quotes for you for May the 4th. And I'll get you your totem animal spirit, and I'll get you your crystal for the week, and also your numerology number for the week. And then we'll move into the Healing Cafe, where I'll have direct conversations with all of you at 8:30. So, 10 inspirational quotes from the Star Wars series. Train yourself to let go of everything you fear to lose. Check. Always pass on what you have learned. Check. Sometimes we must let go of our pride and do what is asked of us. I've done that several times. My mantra now is be humble or get humbled, because I've been humbled so many times because of my ego, because of my arrogance. Your focus determines your reality. That's from George Lucas. And again, that's true. What you tend to focus in on does become your reality. So maybe focus less on politics. Focus more on what's going on in the positivity of the planet. I just saw a whole bunch of flamingos just came into Venice. How cool is that? There's the greatest migration of turtles off Costa Rica were captured by a drone recently. How cool is that? The planet is healing without humans being out and about. How cool is that? The ability to speak does not make you intelligent. Remember that, guys. Just because you can speak does not make you intelligent. There is more to this journey than this physical flesh suit. There is emotional intelligence. There is mental intelligence. There is spiritual intelligence. There is just the intelligence of life, street smarts as we call it. And then, of course, there's physical intelligence with your body. Easy is the path to wisdom for those only not blinded by themselves. Let me say that again. Easy is the path to wisdom for those only not blinded by themselves. Food for thought. Things that make you go, Let go of your hate. Something I've had to work on this last few months myself, my own transformation. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering. And a lot of you are out there suffering. A lot of you are bringing your past, which is not a life sentence. It's a life lesson. So let go of your past. And also, move forward in, mindfulness and have awareness. And self-awareness is key. How are you behaving during this pandemic? There's always a bigger fish. Yes, there is. There is a new day, a new beginning. So those are just 10 quotes from the Star Wars series throughout all the movies that I picked today. Just inspiring quotes because today is May the 4th, and may the 4th be with you. But again, this is a new day. This is a new beginning. I wanted to tie that into the show because there's just a lot of negative out there. There's a lot of fear. There's a lot of misinformation. I did a post on some of the sites that I'm following to help me kind of navigate all this misinformation, what I'm taking in from a television standpoint. I'm going to Snopes.com. I'm going to factcheck.org. I'm going to a lot of the CDC and the World Health Organization, to get my information and process and to navigate. I'm personally not going out. I'm in Washington State. We're locked down, asked to stay inside for another month until May 31st. The date was May 4th. But the data and the science, and we know from history that the second wave of pandemics kill more people usually than the original outbreak. And just sit back and watch. People are going to do, free will and choice. People are going to go out. That's their free will and choice, but I choose not to do that. And I hope that you'll be mindful and pay attention to your external environment, because that can really impact your internal environment. And again, you don't want to end up at the hospital. Just saying, I'm not coming from a place of fear. I'm coming from a place of science, data, and history. And those three aspects are what I follow. So I hope that helps. I hope that brings you a little bit of inspiration this morning. Again, find the balance within your own force, within your own life force. Again, we all have energy. Again, we came here energetically, spiritually first before reincarnated into physical form. So I hope that you remember that you're not just a physical being, but you're an emotional, mental, spiritual, and energetic being in a physical body having a human experience. So that's why I always tell people, dare to dream, dare to explore, dare to live. But on your process of whatever soul adventure you're going through, be kind, caring, and compassionate, because there's a lot of magic in the world. There's a lot of things that you can do on the positive side if you choose to, join the Jedi, or maybe you don't. Maybe you want to join the Empire and rule the galaxy with a fist and not care about people. I hope that you're not that person. And your totem animal spirit for this week is something that happened to me yesterday, so I want to give you the ladybug. We were out driving around, just kind of getting some fresh air, getting some food, supporting our local businesses, and a ladybug actually landed in front of me and actually landed on my finger. So when the ladybug shows up today, or this week in your journey, it aligns for you to make a wish, and it also is letting you know that, it's kind of like when you have an eyelash, you blow the eyelash, blow the ladybug away, and your wish will be granted. Structure a time each day where you can pray or meditate in silence and solitude. Right there, silence and solitude. Darth Vader's meditating right now on my mat, just so you know. But something you thought was lost will be making its way back into your life. That is when the ladybug shows up in your journey. So pay attention to nature. We're paying attention. A lot of us are paying attention to nature right now, aren't we? Because nature said, humans, you've been bad. You're in timeout so the earth can heal. And here we are. So we got to start having some balance and eco with Mother Earth and nature versus ego, which seems to be a lot of the driving force behind why we're so unhealthy and divided and in quarantine. So pay attention to Mother Earth because she is your guide to console you no matter what your religious or spiritual or political affiliation. Let me say that again. Mother Earth is with you to guide you and console you, to heal you no matter what your religious or spiritual or political affiliation. Just like COVID-19 doesn't care about what you care about. It just wants to attack, and destroy. So through this process, we have to now embrace where we're at. We have to endure what we're going through. This is why it's important. People forget, once a pandemic's here, it could take years for this to move its way through the society of humans, but also be, until we find a vaccine, it could be around for a long time. So again, this is why pandemics, it's very important to have planning and prevention, because once it's here, you have to deal with it, and that changes everything. So that's your totem animal spirit for the week is the ladybug. Self-discipline. This is one of the words that I talked about. This is the card I picked today. 4 is master building and 1 is independence. So you have to work on yourself during this time, during this quarantine, which I know it's very tough for a lot of people. I know a lot of people are going through a lot of things, but this is one of the key words I talked about in my predictions for 2020. The great coming together, self-discipline, and sustainability. I just want to say, just a big thank you to all of our frontline workers, our healthcare providers, our nurses, our doctors, our EMTs, our firefighters, our police, all of our food chain supply, railroad, postal service, grocery chains, all of you guys. Thank you. I see you. I honor you. And I know that you're doing a tremendous essential job to keep all of us safe and fed and protected. So thank you for that. And again, have some self-discipline, you guys, for yourself. And be respectful for what's going on. Don't get up in the junk of politics. Please, it's not going to benefit you. It really won't. Your crystal for the week is called magnetite. It's a very easily obtained crystal, magnetite. It's from the United States, Canada, India, Mexico, Italy, Finland, and Austria. What I chose this crystal for today, some of its attributes for magnetite, is it is a powerful, positive, and negative polarity. So if you're feeling negative, you can use this stone to be more positive. It also can be used for magnetic therapy. So for those of you that follow any kind of Reiki, I do Qigong. It's about just finding balance. Again, finding balance within your own force, if you will. It's also working with your body's own biomagnetic field and meridians. Again, we all give off energy. We all have our meridian lines. Just like Mother Earth, borealis lights are her energy. And with that, you can use this stone to also ground yourself and connect to the planet. So it's called magnetite. It's kind of a brown, blackish gray. It's not a very attractive stone, to be honest with you. But if you're new to crystals, try some magnetite. I've used it as a grounding stone. I don't think I have it up on my ledger. I have a lot of different crystals that I work with. But magnetite really just kind of screamed out to me today to work with being grounded and finding a polarity or a balance within your life force, within your journey, because there just seems to be a lot going on, a lot of different opinions, and again, not a lot of teamwork right now. And I hope that we, there's an African proverb that talks about if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And that's what TEAM is. TEAM is all about together, everyone achieves more. So thanks for hanging out with me today here in Metaphysical Mocha Mondays. Again, if you want to learn more about the work I'm doing, you can go to marclainhart.com. internet, search the Intuitive Prospector. You can find me through your Alexa. Just ask it to open up Positive Living. You can also catch me every second and fourth Wisdom Wednesday of the month on Inspired Living Radio over on Om Times Media and Radio and Magazine. We've got some amazing guests coming up in the month of May, already scheduled into June, so I'm looking forward to that. And again, just thanks for hanging out with me today. We're going to get ready for the Healing Cafe. This goes over to my YouTube channel, so make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel because it's through YouTube and my Instagram channels that I do spiritual takeout, which is a lot of fun. We did Qigong and finger exercises the other day, so for any of you that has issues with your hands or your fingers, it's a little exercise to help with bringing energy into your fingers. This week, I'm going to be doing some more stuff for free readings that you can win. If you guess the right bowl, or if I chip into the right bowl, you can win a free reading. And I'm also going to be working with some frequencies this week, talking about different healing frequencies since we're talking about the Force. And may the Fourth be with you. So make sure to follow me on Instagram and YouTube so you can get those shows. I don't do those through Facebook. Sorry, Facebook followers, but I do spiritual takeout through my other channels. And again, I just hope that you're staying safe. I hope that you're staying calm, positive, staying in love. And again, try just to have that teamwork mentality. Try to have that, again, just because somebody disagrees with you doesn't mean they have to become your enemy. Doesn't mean you have to be, mean. There's a lot of people I'm not friends with, and I'm okay with that. Doesn't mean you're my enemy. It just means you don't get to sit at my table of life, and that's okay. So find your balance. Find your force. Choose your side, I guess. Choose your side, the light side of Jedi, or the dark side of the Sith, or the evil empire. But that's your choice, right? That's the power of why we are here on this journey. Free will and choice. So have a great rest of your day. Stay inside, follow the science, follow the data, follow the history to make an informed decision, and don't get caught up in all the political media stuff that seems to be out there with everybody. So thanks for hanging out with me. I hope you have a great rest of your week. I'll be back next Monday for Metaphysical Mocha Mondays at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, followed by the Healing Cafe, which we're getting ready for right now. Have a great day, everybody. Take care. Namaste.